Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Eco Insider TV. Today, we're going to talk about the effective convention elements for success. That's a deep one, but I'm going to give you the whole backstory. Now, whether you've been thrown into planning events your entire life or you've just been assigned, you can always benefit from this show. It gives you tips and tricks that you can keep in your portfolio. So, should something happen, you'll be nimble and be able to flex and flow through it and come up with solutions. My name is Melody Dixon, CEO and founder of Pro Event Planners, curators of eco focused events. I support clients who are steeped in all things sustainability. It's in their business, it's in their life, and they connect with me because I'm aligned with that. I also support people who have no idea about sustainability, but they can see that they're losing money and they're wasting, and so they want to stop the bleeding. So they reach out to me. I give them the tips, and we take tiny eco-focused steps together so that over time, when compounded, it makes a big positive impact on the environment. Now, what is sustainability? It is meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. I like to say it as God is expansive and created everything and just with so much intention and detailed. And by virtue of us coming from God, we're that way too. We like to create things. We like to design things and invent things and just have fun and live an expansive life. We get to do so, however, intentionally so that we can use the resources that we need to fulfill our own purpose in life and have fun. But we also save some for our children and our children's children and people 10 generations deep. Now, there are three pillars to sustainability. The first one is the environment, and there's three parts to that. It's reducing the use of what we're already using since we already have more than enough. We're just overusing and wasting. So let's take that down a notch and reduce the use. Reuse what we already have instead of buying new things. I like to say just keep the thing that you need in a spot so you can always go to that spot and get it. Versus if you're putting it wherever your hand decides to land it and you're trying to find it, you don't remember where's the last place, so you go buy another one. Let's not do that. So we're going to reduce, reuse, and we're going to recycle. I like to squeeze in a fourth in this category, and that's upcycling. And this is where you take old things that would normally go into landfill and we recreate it or transform it or transmute it, all the terms to give it a whole new life cycle and a whole new use. So there used to be a show on HGTV called Flea Market Flip. They would go to flea markets and buy junk furniture and things just based on a theme, and it's a competitive thing. So it could be husband and wife team against another husband and wife team, or siblings or cousins or friends or colleagues. I mean, just so many ways to gamify the process. The gist of it is taking something old and making it all new again. Paint it, scrub it down, break it apart, put it together in something new. So you still have the old elements of it, but it's now something new and useful. The number two is economics, and this is where if it's eco-focused, it also gets to make you money or save you money. So if you have LED lights and you want to switch those out for not LED lights, if you have fluorescent lights and you want to switch those out for LED, yes, it's going to cost you to make that change, but over time you'll see the reduction in your energy bill. You can also specifically buy energy saving refrigerators, microwave, toasters, air fryers, all the things. Just be more sensitive and get those energy saving equipment. Excuse me. Third is social responsibility. We get to love our neighbors as ourselves. So if we have a way to feed the homeless, let's do that. If we can create jobs and give people an opportunity, if they're not able or not willing or not interested to start their own business, then they can work for you and build your dream. And in return, they get paid to do so so that they can have a place to live, feed their family, and take care of their health and all the things. So it's a mutually beneficial relationship, and that's what social responsibility is about. We create space for people to be themselves and express themselves and get mental health support if and when they do need that. So those are the three pillars of sustainability. And to make life abundant, we get to live those three pillars in everything we do, in all our interactions, whether it's at our home or in our business or in our events. Speaking of events, today we're going to unpack the effective convention elements for success. And I chose that topic today instead of the usual event planning mistakes and their solutions, is because I just came from the Choice Hotels convention. And I have gone to several of them over the years. And this one particularly spoke to me because it exemplified more eco-focused elements than I'm used to them having. Hi, Thomas Henry, Edward. Thank you for joining Eco Insider TV. Today, instead of doing the usual event planning mistakes and their solution, we're going to review a convention that I went to. And the title is Effective Convention Elements for Success. So last Tuesday, I flew to Vegas for the Choice Hotels convention because I also work for Choice Hotels. Well, a hospitality company that has some Choice Hotels in their portfolio. Yes. And so I went to the convention and I enjoyed it. I really did. So I'm going to unpack some elements of the convention that I think worked well and some where there were areas of opportunity. So for those who are not familiar, what is the definition of a convention? If you're not in the industry, I'm going to break it down. It's so simple. It's a large meeting of people who come to a place for usually several days to talk about their shared work or other interests or to make decisions as a group. So this particular convention is for all the hotels in the Choice Hotels portfolio. That includes some Radissons and Country Inns and Comfort Inns, Comfort Suites, Quality Inns, Sleep Inn, Econo Lodge. Not sure if I'm missing any, but there's quite a bunch and the brand is growing. So they get together every year and they talk about what's new in the brand, what's new with the software, what's new with booking groups and working with the OTAs like Expedia and Booking.com, what's new in sustainability, what's new on the legal side, all the things coming together. And I'm going to unpack all of that. So I did learn a lot. I did meet some new people. I networked. It was a good experience overall. Let's just say so. The first element we're going to talk about is the location. Choose a location that can bear the event. And if you see me looking up here, I'm looking at Instagram. Down here, it's YouTube. When I say bear the event, that just means that conventions for especially a brand like Choice Hotels, it's mid-scale hotels, but it also just acquired Radisson, and that has a whole bunch of hotels, and Country Inn, and a whole bunch of other smaller. It's like consuming the mid-range type of hotels. So it's pretty big, and the brands are all over the world. So when they converge, they need to find a location that can bear the burden of that many people coming. So they chose Las Vegas, and they've been having the event there in Las Vegas for quite a few years, and with good reason. The convention centers there are huge. These hotels are huge. I mean, I tried to be cute and wear heels most of the time there, but I also had flats because I knew to walk from my hotel to the convention center was far. In fact, the first day of the convention, I walked 10 miles back and forth and from room to room, 10 miles. Great for my health, not so much for the feet. So you want to find a location that can bear the size. And I got a true picture of the size when it was breakfast and lunchtime. They had 72-inch round tables, and those can feed about 10 to 12 people comfortably. And they had a good, I want to say, it could accommodate over 1,000 people, is what the space looked like. And they ran breakfast from 8 until, I want to say, 10. From 8 to 10. That's 2 hours. So the turnover on the seating could be more than 1,000 people for sure. And they had the right amount of space. So you didn't feel cramped. You really didn't notice the size table unless I'm in the industry. I do events. So I can tell a 60-inch round from a 72-inch round. And I look, I'm like, wow, this is a lot of people. So for sure, Vegas, large convention centers in the hotels, large meeting spaces, and also things for people to do around town. They can go see the Hoover Dam, they can walk down the strip, they can go to the Bellagio and watch the water fountain show, they can see little street performers as they do their thing. Famous chefs from Food Network have lots of restaurants there, so they could go dine there in the evening for dinner. There's shows. My first time to Vegas, I saw Zumanity and Ka from Cirque du Soleil, and I also saw Blue Man Group. There's so many more shows going on. So there was things for people to do, and the spaces for them to see it was numerous, so that you would never be bored going to Vegas for sure. So number one, choose a location that has the right size, convention centers, amenities around town, and entertainment and site tours and all the things. Number two, choose the appropriate venue. And when I say appropriate, I mean one that's on brand. So there are many types of different hotels in Vegas. Some are more upscale than others. And if you're only focusing on price, you may choose one that's inexpensive but doesn't represent your brand well. So if you are trying to attract a certain clientele that's more upscale, then you wouldn't go to uh, a hotel that's not featuring the amenities for a more elevated experience and maybe located in a not so nice part of town. It all reflects on your brand, and people will be like, why would they book the group hotels here at this place, trying to attract me? It doesn't look safe. I don't feel comfortable. And so now you start to have a different perception of the organization. So for sure, make sure the venue you choose is on brand. And the venue that Choice Hotels chose was the Mandalay Bay. And they've had it there for quite a few years. I think the last time I went was 2018. I stayed there. This year I stayed at the Luxor. And it's just a walk down to the mall, down the hallway, and you're in the Mandalay. So they're like right next to each other. So for sure, the Mandalay Bay was on brand for Choice. It is a nice hotel. It's not completely too upscale and out of budget for the people, but it was a nice representation of their brand, and it kind of elevated the experience as well. You want to also make sure that it has the right amount of meeting space, because they have so many people and so many things, different trainings and brand sessions and updates and forums and roundtable talks and so much. You need that many breakout rooms. You need a giant general session. I think they had Michael Stranahan as the general session keynote. And then the different breakouts, I think, could accommodate 100, 150 people per. And they had a good maybe 10 breakout sessions per day. And they were filtering, every hour, people were just in and out, in and out, in and out. So you want to make sure it's the right brand, right size, multiple rooms so that you can have the different breakout spaces. All right. The third option is the attendee focused service. Because with that many people, people can get lost or slip through the cracks. But Choice made sure that everyone was just, there was nobody that could be lost. So they had a giant registration station that was a kiosk, and you could pull up your name and automatically print your badge, and then they gave you the little lanyard situation. You could slip your information in and wear it around your neck. And those people were also available for you to ask questions. There was also an event app. You download it on your phone. It has information about the convention, what's on the show floor, what vendors were there, what brand sessions you could register for. You can post your pictures and comment and like. It was almost like a little social media platform on your phone specifically for the convention. What I also liked was you would get notifications on the app like this vendor is having a promotion or they're giving a gift, or stop by booth number 510 to see XYZ. They kind of kept you in the know, so you wouldn't ignore what's on the show floor, but you'd be aware and then decide, who do I want to go see, or set yourself a reminder to go stop by booking.com or stop by OTA distribution, all the things. You will not forget anything. So they had the registration with people, they had the app, they also had signage, minimal poster signage, but more digital signage, which I love because that was more eco-focused than the paper. So you could see your schedule on the app. It was emailed. You can pull it from the brand website and save it to your phone. But they also had a giant digital wall of all the brand sessions. So there was never a moment where you didn't know what was going on and where it was happening. They also had people stationed in the hallway. So if you got lost trying to get from brand session to brand session, they would direct you. And they were very knowledgeable. So you felt really taken care of. Now, the food. The food was commendable because they didn't only cater to Americans. And let me give you an example. The majority of the owners, based on my knowledge and experience and what I saw at the many conventions, the majority of the owners of Choice Hotel properties are from East India. There's, I guess the term is South Asian. And so they had around 6 different large buffets around the dining room area. One, I think, let's say, split down the middle, 3 American and 3 South Asian. So they had chickpeas and chicory and naan bread and all the different kinds of things with mangoes and chilies and all the spicy, delicious, fresh vegetarian food for the group of owners, I guess they're franchisees. Then they had the American style buffet that had scrambled eggs and bacons and waffles and pancake and hash browns, the usual. And me, I eat plant-based, so I loved the food on the Indian buffet. And then I went to the American to get the hash browns. Great combo, loved it. And they did the same thing for lunch. They had 6 different buffets with Indian food and then American food. So nobody felt left out. Between the 2 types of food being served, you could find something to eat. All right. They had at one point, There was fish and fried chicken and rice and salad. And on the other end, they had just so many delicious, some of the names I couldn't even pronounce, but when you taste it, the flavor is so big and bold and it's really delicious. So they made sure that all the attendees were taken care of when it came to food. And beverages were the same thing. They had chai tea, then they had regular herbal teas, and they had coffee. So nobody was left behind. Now, when it came to the last event of the convention, that was a beach party. And you know, the Mandalay Bay has like a giant pool that's like a beach area. There's sand, and then it goes into the pool area, and there's a stage in the middle of the pool. And the entertainer of the evening was Sting. He did a really great performance, loved it. The area of opportunity for me was when I arrived. I remember in the past when I went to Choices Convention, they greeted us with a signature drink. And one of the times I went, it was a drink that was created in a glass made of ice. So you got a special glove, and it was garnished well. And as you were drinking, it was dripping. It was fine, but the experience of it was something special and not the norm. They didn't do that this year. It was just you walked in and you wandered around. So there was no wow factor at the entrance of the space. Then the buffets now for I think it was more like heavy hors d'oeuvres for the beach party. They did have one American, which had French fries and burgers and hot dog. And then the Indian was more Indian food. But I saw one of each. And for that many people, there was bottleneck, the line was long, and there was lulls in between with them trying to replenish the stations. Crowding. So that part, no bueno. But overall, I think I would give it a good 85% because they did make it special. You felt taken care of except for the beach party situation, but otherwise it was fine. All right. So my 3 things to look out for is find the right location that can bear your event, large enough. They have all the amenities around town to make your guests feel welcome and entertained. Number 2, choose the right venue size, the right general session size, the right breakout room sizes, the right areas for photo opportunities, for forums, and so many different spaces, so many little things to keep you entertained and engaged. And the third is to be attendee focused. What do your people need? Gosh, they even had water stations that were not plastic bottles, because in the past they did that, but now no plastic bottles. They had an app, so that's also eco-focused. And they also had a lot of electrical signage, which is also eco-focused, which is, I'm big on just loving on the environment as much as possible and doing some kind of offset if you're not able to. So they did those 3 things, and the food was good, the support there was good, and the sessions were great. Now, oftentimes when you think of all the different elements that make up a corporate event, it can be a lot, especially if you're an entrepreneur, you're trying to do your own business, you're trying to organize your slides for your presentation, work on your guest list, whatever it is. You don't have time to be bothered with all the behind the scenes logistics of creating your event. And that's why I am here. If you're on Instagram, the link is in the bio. If you're on YouTube, the link is in the description of the live. It clicks to my website, click on the Pro Event Package. This takes you to a package that details the hashtag hire it done for you kind of thing. You tell me about the event, tell me what your expected return on investment is, your goals are, and I take that list of what you want with your budget and I hit the ground running and make it happen for you. Find you the right venue, right location, the right vendors to execute, and not only be on brand for your company, but elevate your brand with some unique elements that surprise and delight your attendees. And that's going to get them talking about your event and maybe spread the word and showcase it on social media and get you more engagement and awareness, which brand awareness is everything. Because when you think of coffee, who do you think of? Starbucks, right? And then second to that probably would be maybe Dunkin' Donuts. But who's top of mind? All the elements of your event keep you top of mind for your clients. And that's what my company does for you. If you need more information on that, my name is Melody Dixon, and I'm the CEO and founder of Pro Event Planners, curators of eco-focused events. My email address is info@myproeventplanners. Thank you so much for joining me, Thomas Henry Edward. Thank you for joining me today. Join me tomorrow. We'll go back to doing the event planning mistakes and their solutions. All right. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you tomorrow.